Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. Hey, we're gonna start working on a in-grain cutting board. The goal is wood inlay. This is my first time doing a wood inlay cutting board using my CNC. We'll see how it goes. I'm hoping for the best. But the design's supposed to be, he's a White Sox fan making a gift for his girlfriend. So that's the goal. We're gonna make it out of walnut. The inlay is gonna be the majority maple. We'll probably have some bloodwood or Paduke, depending on the baseball that I'm gonna put in there on the logo. But hey, let's see what happens. Let's get into it. Let's make some dust.
All right, guys. Before we get started, I kind of wanted to say thank you to everybody for subscribing and everybody's here to watch this video. Please like, share, and subscribe when you get a chance. It helps me make better content. But anyways, today we're making this in-grain cutting board with a maple inlay and cherry inlay. I've made some charcuterie boards like this before, but nothing like this. I just had simple circles inlay, but this is going to be a full inlay job. I'm going to go through the steps, but I won't explain everything within the steps. But as you can see here, we are marking the side so we can put it to the joiner and get a flat side. It's important to get a flat side to make, straight cuts. So after we get each board on nice and flat, we're going to turn it on its side and get a nice straight edge. That way when we put it on the table saw, we can easily get straight cuts. This board was ordered by a guy in Chicago. He's making it for his girlfriend, and I hope she likes it. I'm happy to make it for them. It's definitely test my abilities, and I look forward to making other boards kind of like this with different images or logos or whatever it comes down to. I have a 2-car garage shop, so moving things on wheels is vital for my shop. I'm kind of used to it already. So if I ever had a stationary planer, I don't think I'd ever get used to that, but you know how that goes. After we get everything planed here, we're going to go ahead and make our cuts on the table saw. I've recently bought this Harvey nickel-plated 4-horsepower table saw, and let me tell you guys, it is an amazing table saw. If you ever get the chance to own one or use one, go for it. It was between that or the saw stop, but the saw stop, I didn't feel like paying that extra money for that technology. Just have to be really careful, like I promised my wife that I would be. So after we get all these strips together, we got to put them up, get them ready for glue ups. And in this project, I believe we had multiple glue ups. I would say probably 8 glue ups in total. So let's get started on our first one. If you don't know this trick yet about putting painter's tape on your clamps, here's a good idea. Go ahead and do it. It avoids getting glue in all those little crevices where the clamp likes to hang on and put pressure from. When you get glue in there, it is pain. It is a pain to clean. So be sure to do this. It definitely helps. Been doing it ever since I found out, and it saves me so much time. So here goes our first glue up. I'm going to lay these all out and turn them on its side and just put a bunch of glue on it. I'm not a fan of having to do glue ups, but it is part of the process here, as you can see. So we'll do the first one just to get it set and lined up properly, and we just go from there. We're going to go ahead and put wood on multiple, or glue on multiple ones, and just start clamping them. The glue up process is something that, like I said, don't enjoy, but it is a must. And like I said, I do multiple on this project, and it seems like I'm gonna have multiple in the future if I keep doing these types of inlays, but I look forward to it. I'm the type of guy that likes to get a wet cloth and rub all the glue. It helps later on after it's time to take off the clamps and flatten the board. Just makes it easier. I don't have to sit there and scrape with a chisel or scrape or anything like that. I also like to use clamps on top to keep it from bowing so it stays flat. I have been thinking about getting, I don't know what you call it, they're like rockler clamps where it puts pressure on the top and the bottom, or on the sides and on the top. Just not too sure. Here we're going to go ahead and start cutting these maple boards. These are going to be the inlay. And it's the same process. We're going to have to cut them to 24 inches like we did the walnut. And we're going to also have to joint them so that they're flat on both sides, on two sides, and plane them and cut them into multiple strips, as you'll see here in a bit. Guys, this type of cutting board involving inlays requires a lot of research as far as getting the numbers put into Carveco. I did do a lot of test storyboards, as they call them, where you do multiple inlays and you cut through them through a table saw or bandsaw, and you can see how much of a gap is left between the inlay and the female part of the board. You just want enough for glue. So I finally found those numbers, and I'm utilizing those numbers in this build. As you see, we're joining the flat side, and then we're going to put a nice edge on the side. There we go. That's vital, guys. If you don't know, it's vital. It keeps everything straight on the table saw. Nice straight square cuts. That's what it's all about. So I'm going to make my inlays just a little over 1/2 inch, and then when I plane them, once I get them all flat after dry, I like to go about 1/2 inch. My inlays are about 1/4 inch, so a 1/2 inch of inlays plenty. I recently got done with a project and I forgot to empty the bag, so I'm going to have to do it on this project. So that's the process there. I just transfer it into a bigger bag and get rid of it. If I can get one type of wood, I do sell my sawdust. But if it's mixed, I usually just get rid of it. But overall, it's a pretty simple process. It's just really repetitive, and it makes it tough to film because I don't want to keep showing the same thing over and over. That's why I'm speeding through this, so you don't have to sit here and watch the cut, the glue, the cut, the glue, the cut, the glue. So I'm starting my CNC journey. I've been in it about a year now, maybe a little over a year, and I definitely have learned a lot thanks to YouTube and my buddy Adrian. He's taught me some things on there, and I'm thankful for that. But it definitely has opened my eyes to what a CNC can do in woodworking. I know there is a big topic on YouTube about is CNC real woodwork. In my opinion, yes. Well, now we gotta wait till it all dries up. About 3 or 4 hours, and then we'll go back at it. What are you doing, bud?
Chase is on the case.
Chase is on the case? You gonna help Daddy?
Huh?
You gonna help Daddy?
No.
Come on, help me. You just gonna play? Alright. That's fine. I need to take a break anyways. Right, bud? I love you. Someone's camera shy right now. I love you, bud. Oh. Alright, let's get back at it. If y'all don't know, that's my boy. I love having him around the shop. Sometimes he helps me, sometimes he doesn't. It just depends what kind of mood he's in, but I like when he helps me. It's fun. So after we finish the glue up, like I said, I have a CNC, so we're going to use that to flatten the board. I also have a drum sander that I use, but this would make it quick and easy. It only took me, a minute or two of surfacing this board, which makes it easy. So if you have a CNC, definitely use that. If not, a router sled just does the same job. If you got that, way cheaper, obviously, go for it. And again, we have to put a nice straight edge on it in order to cut square strips on the table saw. I'm slowly learning how to use my CNC, and over time, it just works for me. I'm happy to keep learning. I like testing my knowledge when it comes to really anything. I'm always either listening to a book or learning something on YouTube. It's always keeping my mind fresh. It's always been nice for me. So here we are cutting all these strips. We're going to flip them over, as you can see me flipping them there. And that's what we're going to glue up to create our end grain cutting board. I enjoy having multiple shots for y'all. I hope y'all like that kind of style too. I'm kind of mixed right now on the style of filming I want to do. I personally like different kinds of filming as far as music in the video or just talking or voiceovers. Right now I'm practicing my voiceover, so that's why I'm doing this. I know some people like either or all three. Like I said, just depends what kind of mood I'm in at the time. So here goes up the glue up process again. It's the same as the other one. I like to put my strips of wood offset of each other, being that I don't like a brick building. I don't like where all the lines line up because I feel it's weaker. I'm not sure if this applies to woodworking, but I'm kind of hoping it does because that's what I'm doing. Kind of like bricks, how they're offset. It just creates a stronger foundation, if you will. And we got to do this to the maple and cherry inlays as well. So I just speed this up for y'all. You don't have to see all detail, just to get an idea of the process. So after a day of letting it dry, coming home from work, it's time to take this one apart. We got to re-flatten this walnut and start getting ready for the carving. It's vital that you make sure that it is secure on the CNC, because if it moves, it throws off everything. That's step number one. And as you see here, we're just going back and forth, clearing material, making it flat. And we do this to both sides. So on an ingrain cutting board, everybody says you shouldn't run it through a planer or a joiner. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to raise that bed there to about 1/2 and take multiple slices out of it. And as you can see here, no chip out or anything. So it worked. That thing makes it very easy to get a straight edge. We're cutting it to length here. I'm using that straight edge against the fence, as you can see. And I have a Miter Express. I've had this thing for years. I love it. It's so accurate and it's so easy to fine tune. If it does get out of tune, like if you drop it, I'm not going to say I have, but I may have a few times. One time on my leg, scraped me pretty good, but it's alright. So once we raise the blade, get it to size, we're going to go ahead and cut the other straight edge here. And some more good camera shots, if you ask me. Then we put that flat edge against the fence and cut it to size. This board measured 13 by 17. Yes, it was 13 by 17. The customer did not want handles on it, but he did want feet. So the next step is we mark center for the CNC. And here you go, guys. Here goes some of the design work. Enjoy. Oh, I hope y'all enjoyed that kind of little B-roll or whatever you want to call it, designing. That took a while. I would say a little over a day. But like I said, I'm learning, so I'm getting it. And on this cut, we are going to use a 1/8 end mill. The reason I use such a small one instead of a 1/4 inch, this removes more material on all the smaller letters. As you can see, all the little curves and everything, so there's nothing left behind. A 1/4 inch wouldn't be able to fit in that. And then after we do that, removing all that material, we are going to clean it up with a 30 degree V-bit. That's going to give us our slope that we need around the letters and or logo. After we get our Z set, put our dust boot on, and we're going to hit start and get this carve going. This carve lasted about almost an hour or so. Like I said, that 1/8 inch, it does take a little bit longer, but it's fine. It was worth it. As you can see, there you are. Nice clean cuts. You can see the little ridges from the 1/8. It kind of steps down, and then when we put the 30 degree, it cleans up those edges. Here goes the 30 degree V-bit we're about to put on. Kind of the process of changing out the bit. I did order a red line spindle kit from Onefinty. I always wanted a spindle, but it was third parties who were making them for them. But I wanted something, I was waiting, and thankfully they did create a spindle kit that I can use, that Onefinty approved, and it's just a plug and play system. I ordered that in early January, and delivery is going to be in late March according to their website. So I'm excited when that comes in. I'll probably make a video as well on that if anybody's interested. And here you go, guys. Look at this. After about an hour, we got a clean carve. There's really nothing to clean up. Just a little bit of fuzzy here and there that I put a brush on. Beautiful. So I used the CA glue method. I don't like using double-sided tape because I got the shakes on my left hand and it's hard to peel that little layer of tape off. So I just use this. You just put the glue on, you spray the activator, and then put it down and hold it. And it takes a couple seconds and you're set. And I have yet to have an issue where it slips. Same thing, mark the center, and let's go ahead and start this carve. This one took a little bit longer. This one took about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. As you can see, all that yellow right there, that's what it removes, and the black lines is what's left. So this is the male, and then the actual cutting board is the female. Some people call them the positive and the negative, but I think this is just easier to remember, male and female. And then all you do is just pull it up, and there it is. Look at that. That one had some fuzzies we had to use, and just scrape those out, clean them up. We do this to every carve we do, see? I used a 1/4 inch chisel there to help clean up, and then you just cut it out. Where the void is, you just cut it out with the bandsaw, and that's what gets inlaid into the board. So one of my favorite things to do that I learned about this is the fit of the inlay. When the male goes into the female, it just pops in there, and it's just satisfaction knowing that it fits perfect. We want to make sure we put glue on all of these. We're going to use a brush to help spread it so that all the walls are covered in glue. You do want some squeeze out, but you don't want a whole bunch. So you just don't want to make sure, you don't want to fill it up completely with glue. So there I am spreading it around. Now, I did learn that I need a whole new clamping system. As you can see, those weights are just sitting there. Well, that's what I used I put some clamps and weights. I didn't like the system. There is this YouTube channel called Cutting It Close. I'm pretty sure y'all have heard of him. He did release some plans on a press that I did make, but it was after this project. So I'll probably make a video on that. It's pretty neat. It uses plywood. It's all CNC work, and just cut it all out. And it works out great. So I can't wait to use that press. And it holds a board that's 19 by 14, I believe. So that's good for most boards. And here we go with the name. And so yet again, when it fits, it feels good. And you got to play with it a little bit. There it is. And we're just going to plane this off And we're going to put it in a, well, we just cut the majority and then we put it in the drum sander. And look at this. Check this out, guys. Perfect inlay. No gaps. Nothing. Perfect. And we are about to start the carve on the front of the board. This also includes a juice groove. I'm just going to do a couple shots real quick of this. You get the idea. It's just asking me to make sure I change the tool. And there we go. So real quick, guys, I started filming these videos because I had multiple people asking me about the process of making cutting boards or tables or whatever my woodworking projects are at the time. So I just started filming, and this is what I show them. When they ask me how I did it, I show them. And look at that clean cut. This one I had no fuzzies whatsoever, just in the juice groove there on the bottom left. I just had to blow that out with air and we were good to go. So yeah, I've been filming for a while now. I'm still learning. It's always a learning process, and I'm really enjoying it. I like y'all's feedback when y'all do comments, even if it is negative. I like it. I'm the type of person that learns from other people. So please feel free to comment on what you think, what I should improve, what I did good. It's all good. I like it all. So again, we just cut out the male portion of the cutting board here, or inlay. And same process. We're going to put glue in the female and put the male in. And on this one, remember the ball here is cherry. So I got to remember to cut that out. I like to put tape here on the juice grooves because I do not want glue going in that juice groove. It is so hard to sand as it is, so. You see here I put glue, and I'm careful not to put any glue on where that baseball goes, that little circle there. And here goes another satisfying shot. I just got to move it around a little bit and you'll see when it falls in. Perfect. For the most part, this board took me about a week to complete. The cutting process, the gluing process, the design process, the carving process, and then the finishing process. And you put it through the drum sander again, and man, it just comes out so beautiful. Look at this. Another perfect inlay. It's addicting almost. So this is going to be the first time I actually use my router extension table here on the Harvey. It turned out really good. I enjoyed actually using it because I always used a handheld little small router, and I really wanted to start getting used to using this. And I tell you guys, it worked out great. As you can see, it makes it super simple. And if y'all don't know, I hate sanding, but it's part of the process. So here we go. Sand, sand, sand. I won't bore you with it. Just a little bit more there. That's it. So the next stop is water popping and or raising the grain, whatever generation you are. There's a big thing on that too, but it doesn't matter. It does the same thing. Water pop or raising the grain. So when I was building this, I didn't let the client know that I'm going to make him some free stands for this board. I didn't tell him about it, so he was surprised, and I'm glad he enjoyed the stands. Usually I do charge extra for him, but I didn't charge him on this one. It's just I was so happy with the quality of the board that it deserves some stands. I made them out of white oak, and like you see here, we got to cut it to size and plane. Each stand is probably about 6.5 inches tall by 6 inches wide, I believe, is what I put on my CNC. As you can see here, I just put them on and it cuts them out. Just clean up the tape and then put them through some sanding, and it's done. I like to use mineral oil for my boards. I've been doing that for a while now. I do use mineral oil. I let it soak. And I also use beeswax to seal it after the oil has absorbed. And I let it absorb for a while, a few hours, before you can see where it just stops drinking it. You'll see the little dry spots. And once there's no more dry spots, then that's when I go ahead and wipe it all off. But I'm not going to show you that whole process here. But anyways, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. I enjoy making this, and enjoy this B-roll.